How's it going, my friends? Well, guess what time it is? It's time to start on our mechanisms. I'll probably do a couple condensed on these because most of you have seen me clean leaf switches and that score motors. But we will get into our these two steppers because both of them, they've tried tightening up the springs as much as they could. This one is loose and that one is loose as well, so I'm willing to bet there's a problem with them besides being gummy, because they're not they do work. Need cleaned awful bad. Let's see, what's this one doing? That one is okay. That one doesn't just return all at once. That one returns one position at a time. That's got to be the bonus. What is it? Yep, bonus unit. The other ones are ball count unit. So we'll get into those and see what the hell we got going on with those. And as always, I got to clean all the switches, which I do on every one of these EMs I get in. They get tore down and we clean every switch, stepper units, score motor. Did have somebody chime in and tell me why you can turn the motor off so you can service it and test it. That way you can put it in the off mode and then you can turn this and see what's going on with it on. But we'll leave that on. Only got a couple Jones plugs to clean. These ones and the one for the motor. Everything else is all plugs, which most of those should be okay. It's not like the Jones plugs that get all tarnished and crappy. So that's what we're going to do here on the bottom Mech that goes down inside the cabinet. What I'll do is I have a little file here that's about half wore out, and I will go through and put this in every one of our leaf switches and clean it. Now everything should be okay. I'll check to make sure everything's adjusted properly. Without adjusting all the switches, you just want to you can tell when you're cleaning them. If you close the relay, you can tell which ones are supposed to be open and which ones are supposed to be closed. And when they open, the little blade should move a little bit, and when they close, the little blade should move a little bit. And then you have another one which is called a make and break, which is this one right here on the start relay. You can see right now the little blade's closed on that side, and then when the relay pulls in, it opens that side and closes the other side. That's what they call a make and break switch. Some of you have heard me explain that just about in every video, but hey, never know, might have somebody new watching. So, and wanting to find out how to clean up one of these Chicago coins. They're a little different. Relays are all the same. Steppers are a little different. But when we get over to our back box panel, that one, I'll tear apart one of the score reels and show you on those. I'll probably get both of these in this video. I'm going to kind of condense them or just make a little longer video. There's not going to be as much to do on this one, or I don't have to show you as much to do. This is our game over relay. right here. That's a lock. It's one of those interlocks. Interlock is when one coil pulls in. One coil pulls in, it locks it, and that would be game over or on, whichever it is. And then when you either start a game or game over, this will pull in, and then it'll open that one. And you can tell that coil's loose. Maybe. You can see that those ones get awful warm. The paper's gone off of those ones. And let's see, what do we got? Ball index relay. That one's gotten warm, but it doesn't mean they're bad. Just because the paper is black on them doesn't mean they're bad. Usually a coil is either going to work or not work. But everything else, you know, a little crusty looking, but you know, I blew it off. And we'll get her all cleaned up, get all our switches cleaned up. I'm still working on the cabinet. I don't know if I've posted that one yet or not. We'll see. I may go ahead and finish up the cabinet, and you may have already seen the finished cabinet. But we're going to do this one. We're going to do the bottom mech and the backboard mech. And unless we get into some other stuff, which I don't foresee on this bottom mech, we'll get into this one as well. Okay, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start cleaning all of our leaf switches and all the leaf switches on the score motors, and then I'll bring you back and we'll do the two stepper units. I think I got everything here to do this. Let's see what this stepper unit here has in store for us. There's a straight screw down here that's not even halfway in, and like I said, the one next to it has the screw missing, so I know that these must have been a problem child for this guy, for the operator, because I'm sure this was on location. You don't get 97,000 games on a machine in a home unless you have lots of parties and everybody likes your pinball machine. Oh, are we gonna have enough rope? Yeah, I think there's enough there. We need to take him off. I pre-loosened it because I didn't want you to see me having problems trying to get this nut. I wanted to make sure it was going to come off to begin with. This one we may have to tear down completely, because with this spring, you can see how it wasn't tight enough, it wasn't returning for them, so they jacked up the spring. God. So now I don't think our spring's going to be any good. Let's see. Oh, when I was cleaning the switches, just for the hell of it, I found this guy tucked underneath the relay bank. That one, that looks like, I think that's a switch that goes up for rubber. You can see the switch itself is missing, the contact point. So I'm sure that was changed, and I found this under there too. A brand new switch, only this is a different style. This has your plastic piece in it that opens it. Your contact, or your work side is here, so whatever is supposed to trip it would push this way and open it, instead of at the top, pushes it right on the switch itself. You know, if all else, hey, we got a brand new switch. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's brand new. There's never been any solder on that. A little tarnished, but hey, I'll take it. Can always use those switches somewhere. Okay, now back to this little devil. Let's see if we can get him apart. Now why? Bear with me. This is going to be my first time on this one too, but I'm not scared. I thought that was just keyed. Yeah. Okay. I have it right now in the home position, which this is the ball counter. So this would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this would be game over, which would be ball 0, I guess. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is kind of, this moves 6 positions. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5 positions, excuse me. Had a doy moment. So we're gonna make note that in the home position it's on this orange, which you can see somebody's already marked it here and there, so I think somebody's been working this over quite often. Come on, there we are. You can see it's just a what do you can, that's not a, okay, that's our ground, or our second, yeah. That's not even a D-shaped, that's more of a 2D. Okay, now we need, okay, it is metal on nylon, so we shouldn't have a problem unless somebody's put oil on it. Ooh, I just pulled that out a little bit and now it won't, there we go. So actually, no, that, I don't know why they put that big ass spring on there. All that does is lock it into each one of those cogs. When it moves one position, that spring pulls down that little lever and holds it in that position. That's, I don't know. Unless somebody thought it wasn't pulling it down hard enough. I mean, the little teeth on the gear are okay. I just have some contact cleaner right at the moment to clean that whatever looks like some kind of old grease or oil. And I'm just gonna, you know, see. That's what I wiped off. Oop, here, how about there? That's what I just wiped off of the contact plate, and then these little contacts you can see there and there. That's where I just wiped those two off. It is funky, but I know what I didn't leave, what I didn't bring over here. With my dielectric grease. You shouldn't have to oil this shaft coming through here, this guy, because it's metal on nylon, and most of the time you don't have to put any on that unless somebody has got it all full of gunk from old oil, because they thought that you needed to oil that. And I got some light sandpaper here. And I'm just gonna clean the ones up that are used on here. And then I'll wipe it off, because somebody had already gotten on me about that I didn't wipe off the stuff that I sanded off of it. Okay, let me go locate my grease. Okay, found my grease. I was trying to get everything together so I didn't have to stop in the middle and go find something. I was kind of hoping, I thought I had everything. But on these stepper units, like this ball counting unit here, your contact here has 2 fingers on it, and then there's 2 here on the bottom, which touch the bottom of this plate, giving you the contact all the way through. Clean that up. There's some funk on it. And what it does is, like here, see this pin here, this contact is making contact with this one here, which would transfer your power from your ball, game over, and then this bottom one, these 2 are your grounds. So you can see, as when you push this down, as it turns, like from game over, it's on, no, not on that one, it'll be all the way up here, empty. So you'll transfer the signal off of these 2 pins, your ground, to here. Or, well, your signal anyway. I'm just going to say signal. I'm not sure that that's a ground, but your signal will be transferred through. And same thing, as it turns, it'll go to ball 1. Same thing, it'll transfer everything to set the machine up for ball 1, and then when you get to the 5th ball, this pin here will contact this one and this one and transfer the power through your 5th ball. Usually on a lot of these 5th ball you get like double bonus or something like that. It does different things for the 5th ball, getting ready for the game over, and then when you start the game it zips all the way back. No, after, when it's game over, it zips back and resets it to here. Sorry about that. But let me put a little bit of Wiener slide on it, on these, right through there and through there. Not much. You don't have to go bananas with it, just a little bit, so it slides, moves easier. Okay, and then this washer goes on there all the way down, and then orange mark on orange mark. Washer, lock washer, and canut. Okay, now I don't know if we can actually get this flipped over so we can work on it. we need to change some sleeves and check, make sure everything's okay on this. 'Cause, like I said, I don't know why they had that spring all screwed up. Alright, let's see, can I... Alright, let me take a look at this. Let's see what we gotta... I think that's the switch wires is what's actually... No, that's everything. I'm gonna have to get those out of there while it's standing up, because they don't give you enough wire to actually lay this over and work on it. But I'll change the coil sleeves, and then we'll take a peek at what we're going to do for a spring. I have some springs, I have some new ones, so we're going to see if we can get a spring on there. God. Yeah, that one goes, that's where it's supposed to go. So I'm looking at this other one on this side just to see if we're missing a spring or what's going on. Okay, I'll get those sleeves changed out, and then we'll see if we can't figure out a spring. Okay, got those two rebuilt. No, not rebuilt. Re-sleeved. Now let's see what we can come up with for a spring. I got two new ones here that are kinda... Let's see, where's that old piece of crap? Oh, there it is. We can get kind of an idea as to what length we need if we can squeeze it and hold it together. See, this one here is going to be just a little long, that green one. Oh, let's see what else do I have. I have these two black ones here that are going to be just a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. By gum, by golly, we might have a spring we need. I have to get that part number written down so I can... Let's see. No, it's not bad. What we can do is put it on. See, if they're too tight, oops, wrong place, sorry. If they're too tight, that's just less or more that your coil has to do. I don't know, that's supposed to, does it go all the way back there? That's pretty stiff coil, I'll tell you. Coil. God, having a hell of a time today, guys. Let's see. pretty wimpy. Let me get that new one off of there. I like to have the right size on there. That's nice. Got it pinched together once. That'll probably be the only time. No, that one, that's longer than this black one. I just didn't like how much it had to work. You know, one that's, and then it wants to rest right there. Now let's try this green one. I like that green one better. It's not as strong as that black one I had on there. It's a little small, or a little bigger, and a little stronger than the original. But I think, now this is something that, you know, if it is too strong, we can reach down in the coffin and change it. Another is I go to Harbor Freight and buy this big spring assortment, and you know, there's probably something in here that we could use as well. But these are nice to have around for emergencies. You know, if you break a spring, you can get one out and at least get going until you reorder the correct spring. So it's kind of nice to have something like this sitting around so you can use it. There's some in here without the hooks on them that you can actually just make up what you need. You know, something like, oh, I'm putting that back here because I'll end up dumping that. See, like this one here, it's really strong, but you can take that and put a couple loops on it just by bending one winding over and make up a spring. If it's too long, you can cut it and do it again. So, you know, just some spring stock is kind of nice to have around in case you need a spring. It's a strong ass spring, you know, stronger than this, but it would get you by until you can order the right one. Or, you know, some of these springs aren't available, so if you need a spring, you can make up your own. These springs that I got, these were just some springs that were on the website for steppers. You know, it might not be the one for this stepper, but it is a stepper spring, and they had some, so I ordered them. And of course the green ones don't have a part number, so I'll have to hunt them back up. I may get some more of those. It's just good to have some springs around, so you're not, well, I'm as far as I can go, and then you have to wait 4 days for one to come in. You can move on until the spring comes in, and then change it unless it's working good. If it's working good, then to hell with it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here with this stepper. Is I'll take it apart and clean it all up. Not going to take it all apart, but I'm going to take it apart and get cleaned up what needs cleaned up. And re-sleeve it, and I'll put that other green spring on this one. And then we'll be pretty much done with this bottom mech. And then the fun one will come over here, the back box. I got the two stepper units all cleaned up, re-sleeved them. Both coils and both of them have new sleeves. You can see those were still, oops, excuse me. Still had one aluminum, and there was 3 brass in there. I know you think that brass would last longer than the nylon, but with your brass and aluminum, you do get a little bit of, you get kind of a drag from your plunger. So if it's dragging, that's resistance, and it's not going to react as quick. Where the nylon, you don't have to oil nylon or anything like that, so it's smoother, and the metal slips through nylon a lot better than metal on metal. If that makes any sense to you, I hope it did. So now I got all the switches cleaned up, and this is our bonus unit. You can see it'll click and go all the way to probably 15. Let's see, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, this one will go. Looks like this one will go to 19 instead of the 15 as normal, and then it'll count it back down. Put the new green spring on that one too, and this one. So now we have new springs on both of them, and this one should be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th ball. And then it should count down or zip back when the game's over, and it does. So we're in good shape with those two now. So everything's completed on the bottom here. This was just a lot of switches to clean up on this one, and 2 stepper units to take care of. Like I said, this on the Chicago coins, if I remember correctly, some of the Chicago coins, they all have this plastic cam unit on them, and on the bottom, all the way, I don't know if you can, okay, all the way down in there, where the cam unit sits down on your motor, is, I think it might be a D-shaped. It's either the D-shape or the 2 flat side with the rounds on either side. What happens is this plastic gets brittle and splits, and then your motor can't drive your cam. The motor just slips around in it. This one is good, because I think this one has been reinforced. Yeah, this one doesn't have that. This one actually has a screw and a bolt. A bolt and a nut through holding our cam unit together. On those other ones, when they split, then the motor turns and it won't turn the cam. There's some fixes for that. If you run into that on an old Chicago coin, don't think that, oh shit, now it's junk because I'll never find that cam unit. Well, you can repair them. What you can do is you take that whole cam unit up off of there and take a piece of wire, and you can wrap it around there, squeezing it together, and then take your 2 ends and twist it so it holds that plastic piece together. Hopefully one of these days we'll find another one, and we'll do that, because that'll be interesting. I have a 75 Chicago coin top 10 sitting over there. That's a real basket case that eventually we will get into. there's the head unit sitting right there. You can see it's got to have a new back glass. And this is that one that's really toasty. That's a top 10. Or what the name of it's, top 10. And we will get into that one, and maybe that one will be one that we get to fix the motor on that one. I just want to, because to show you that you can fix them without saying, oh crap, now we're done. No, where there's a will, there's a way to fix everything. So now we are ready here. I'll get this put back over there on the horses, and then we're going to bring up the back unit and start cleaning it and getting it ready to go back in. Still letting my paint set up on the cabinet. Still letting that set up, and then we can put our art back on it. You can see I have mostly all of my stencils ready. I think I have just one more stencil to cut out for around the coin door, and then that'll be ready, and then I can start wet sanding where I need to and getting this laid up on there, and we can start getting our color on it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that here shortly. I can do it to the cabinet anytime. That's ready. It's cured long enough that paint's hard enough. It'll withstand me wet sanding on it. The cabinet or the back box I just got painted, so that's going to take me. That still needs to set a little while, but we can get the cabinet done. We get the cabinet done, then at least we can start getting some stuff put back in it. And get that put in it, and then we can put our play field in it and work on the bottom side of it. I can still work on it by putting it on the bench. It's just that I just don't like it because it puts undue pressure on some of our plastics and pop bumpers and stuff like that. That's why I like to have the cabinet ready. We can set it in there upside down and get it ready. Alrighty, so let's get our score unit, our back box Mech unit, up on the bench here, and we can get started on it. The back box Mech is sitting up here, and we can get started on it now. On this one, we have on the back, we have 3 steppers to take care of. This is the coin unit, which coin unit is normally in the bottom, but this one they put on the back. Player control unit, that's either or. I've seen them in both places, on the back or in the cabinet. And our 0 to 90 unit, which is our match unit. We have those 3 to do, and we only have, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 relays with leaf switches to clean up, plus our 16 score reels. Okay, let's see, these two, this is the 1000 to 9000, and that's the 100 to 900. And this is our clicker here. This would be the 00 to 90 relay, which I think that's our 10-point relay. And then these two, I'm not positive, they're not labeled. So those two are going to be a mystery. Then we have our 4 over-the-top electronic relays. So this 76, this is kind of when they were just, I think some of these companies were just kind of fiddling around with some solid state stuff. Chicago Coin never made a solid state pinball machine that I know of. I haven't seen one. I've looked at lists of all the Chicago coins, and it's Rifle Games, EM. This is all EMs, Rifle Games, puck bowlers, and pinball machines. I think Stern bought Chicago Coin, and then Stern started making solid states. But on these Chicago coins, there's quite a bit of stuff that's kind of similar to other companies. Like I see some Gottlieb design in some of these. A lot of our coil stops are like Gottlieb and have the nut on them that you can change just the little coil stop instead of changing the whole bracket. You can just unscrew that and screw on a new, or bolt on a new coil stop. The stepper units are kind of all the same throughout the companies. They're, you know, all pretty much the same. You have little fingers out on a board, contact board. But the design of the mechs are pretty much the same throughout as well. But I've also seen on this one that some of the coil stops are like Stern. They're the big wide base, only you use the two inside screw holes instead of the outside screw holes for the regular Stern. Leaf switch relays are all pretty much the same, you know, same design, only looks like Chicago coin, instead of doing doubles, they did a lot of just tall singles. But these score reels are unique to, I've only seen these on Chicago coin, this style of score reels. We have a little metal tab that you pull, that you just pull down off of a little nubbin, and then you can pull him up out. And like I said, they were getting close to solid state because you have a big wide, and like a Gottlieb connector on the top of your on the top of your score reel. But the fingers, you know, this is pretty unique, and along with the mech inside here that runs the score reel is pretty unique to this. Like this is 76, and these are 75 Chicago coin. Let me get over here where there's some light. So you can see one difference right off the bat is the size of the score reel, and the setup in here and how it mounts is a lot different. How the wheel actually mounts on, but the finger system here is they kept that, only they kind of shrunk everything. This is for the top 10. I have 2 missing, and I found a couple. So that looks like fun, doesn't it? We get to wire these up on the top 10. But you know, we're saving them. Doesn't matter really what kind of condition they're in. I don't care. You know, I can see salvaging just about any of them I've run across, no matter what the condition of them is. As long as you can find the parts. If you can't find the parts, then you make it or adapt it to something else, to a different type of machine, different manufacturer. It's what you have to do sometimes to keep these going. Now most of these I've played around with a couple of them, and they are really stiff. You can see that let me get that up off of that. This one I've been playing with off and on, and it is loosening up a little bit, but it's stiff. It's like it's full of old nasty grease, like somebody went through and oiled them. See this one? So we got to get those all cleaned up so they move freely. Fly, be free. And we'll get them squared away. So I'll get you set up, and we'll tear one of these down and see what we have to do to get them so they move a lot freer.